welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is a Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. While the Nifty is hovering just about below the flat line at 25,030 odd levels, it is the stock of the time or the hour that you should be focused on, and that is Reliance Industries. The stock is hovering about 1.7% higher in trade as one of the top movers on the Nifty right now, and this is because Reliance's 47th AGM is underway. You are able to see that live on our YouTube platform as well. But the biggest announcement that has come in from Mr. Mukesh Ambani, the chairman and the MD of Reliance Industries Group, is that Reliance Industries is now going to be considering a 1:1 bonus issue, and the board will be considering this on 5th of September when they meet. No record date has been fixed as of yet, but that is something that is the biggest takeaway just as yet as the speech has been underway. Let's now welcome our guests on the show to help you understand a little bit more. But in the meanwhile, let me also highlight some of the key other fine prints that you should be knowing as far as the speech is concerned from Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Several announcements have been made right there. First up, like I already shared, is the 1:1 bonus issue. The company has also talked about AI, which has opened up a lot of opportunities. GeoBrain is something that will be the name of the AI platform that Mukesh Ambani's company Reliance Industries will now be focusing big on. Reliance Industries, they believe, has now turned a net producer of technology. It's embedding innovative tech businesses. They've also built AI native digital infra as well. And as Geo itself is now being powered by their own technology in India. They've also talked about how 25% of increase in the annual CSR spending is something that they have done. Their headcount right now is 6.5 lakhs as well, and how the company has been consistently, giving more employment opportunities within the group as well. That's something that the Mukesh Ambani has also highlighted. He's also said how all of their businesses continue to be key growth drivers for the Indian economy, and they also believe that RIL has now filed patents in 6G, 5G, large language models, deep tech and many more as well. And for sure, the key takeaways will also be in the range of how the company is going to be scaling up its AI operations, the deep tech technology platform as well. As Mukesh Ambani has highlighted, how RIL is becoming a deep tech company in seminal ways. RIL has spent over 3,643 odd crores, that's equivalent to $437 million in research and development in the financial year March 2024, and the money is spent is over 11,000 crores in the last 4 years as well. As far as the technology is concerned, like I was pointing out, RIL has added 260,000 jobs in FY24, turned out to be one of the biggest employers in the group as far as in India is concerned. They've also talked about how Jio, the telecom platform of Reliance Industries, is now the world's largest mobile data company. Each user here consuming about 30 GB data per month right there. The stock is hovering about 1.5% higher at 3,041 odd levels. Let's now look forward to welcoming our guests on the show. We do have our first guest who's joining in a while, but let's actually look at what Mr. Mukesh Ambani did say as far as the bonus announcement is concerned. Let's listen in from him himself.
Esteemed shareholders, our founder firmly believed that you are the backbone of Reliance and that you deserve a substantial reward from time to time as your company grows from strength to strength. I have supreme confidence in the robust performance and the bright future growth prospects of all our businesses. Based on this confidence, I would like to share some good news with you today. At 1:45 p.m. today, Reliance Industries Limited has sent a notice to the stock exchanges that the Board of Directors will meet on the 5th September to consider issuing bonus shares in the ratio of 1:1. When Reliance grows, we reward our shareholders handsomely. And when our shareholders are rewarded handsomely, Reliance grows faster and creates more value. Esteemed
Okay, so that was the bonus announcement right there. And apart from it, I'm telling you, it's going to be the AI takeaways that will be very important for you to look at. How Mukesh Ambani has been focusing on how Jamnagar will be getting gigawatt scale AI ready data centers. So he's going to go big on AI. He said, and I quote, "We are committed to democratizing AI. We'll partner leading global companies to make AI applications more affordable," unquote. That is what Mr. Mukesh Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Industries, has just announced as well. Let's welcome Mr. Kunal V. Parar as our first guest now joins in on the show. Kunal, a warm welcome to you and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, you must be already listening in to the conversation, to the AGM announcements that Mr. Mukesh Ambani has been making. Your first reaction to the bonus issue that Reliance Industries has announced now?
Yes, recently, means today in AGM, Mukesh Ambani declared about the bonus 1:1. Right now, stock is trading 3,035, made high of 3,075. Now, this is the pure master strategies. Last time, Reliance issued a bonus in 2020, and afterward we saw good upside momentum in the counter. So some replicate momentum that we can see in the counter right now. Right now, it is trading at 3,035. And upper side, if we talk about, then 3,200 would be there. And if stock gives a breakout of this 3,200, then but obviously one way rally would be there up to the level of 3,500. So yes, it's a clear cut buy recommendation. It's a clear cut long indication on the chart. One can go for Reliance at present level. And the way historical data suggesting after the right issue, bonus issue, corporate event that has taken place in the Reliance, we saw a very good upside momentum in recent in past days. So same replicate momentum we can see in the counter.
Got it. He also talked about Geo Financial Services in his early part of the speech as well, talking about how it has reached a 2.2 lakh crore rupees market cap as well. How are you looking at Geo Financial Services? They've been talking about how the future looks pretty bright for Geo Financial Services, the scale that it will be going to as well.
Well, if we talk about Geo Finance, right now it is trading at 324 level, and I have been continuously suggesting this stock to accumulate for long-term perspective, not for trading perspective or short-term perspective, but yes, I have a bullish view particularly on this counter. Right now it is trading at 324. If we talk about long-term side, then we can see a good upside momentum up to the level of 450, even plus side. So even one can go for long-term for long-term perspective. This is the right time to get into the stock. I'm also suggesting to go for SIP on a month-on-month basis in this counter, because the future is very bright for this counter. So yes, even we can see good upside momentum. 450 plus would be there in this counter.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as Geo Finance is also concerned. Let me also share some other announcements that are coming in from the AGM Live. Mr. Mukesh Ambani has talked about Geo Air Fiber, and he says that Geo Air Fiber has crossed 2 million customers. This was launched in October of 2023, and within 6 months, the second million in following 100 days is what they have seen. And they want to add 1 million customers every 30 days is what their aim is with the Geo Air Fiber as well. They're also talking about how Geo users will get up to 100 GB of free cloud storage, and the offer will be launched for Diwali this year. So there you have it for the Geo users. In case you're looking for the cloud storage, there could be some free cloud storage coming in your way. Up to 100 GB of free cloud storage for Diwali this year is something as a bonanza that all the Geo users will be getting from Reliance Industries as well. Of course, he's talked about how Jio has become the largest mobile data company, and each user consumes about 30 GB data per month. He also said it's also come as one of the fourth of the world average is the kind of data usage that Geo users are contributing to. So that's also a bit positive right now. Kunal, let me ask you, would you think that this will be a good enough time to start accumulating Reliance Industries because of the bonus announcement that's come into investors' way as well? At 3,020, should one just go ahead and start accumulating a lot of Reliance Industries shares to benefit with the bonus thing?
Well, definitely, this is what I said. When right now stock is trading at 3022, and even in past, if we face the historical data, whenever Reliance came up with this corporate event afterwards, we saw a very good upside momentum in the counter. So same replicate momentum that we can see in the counter during upcoming trading session. So yes, one can get into the stock, even one can accumulate the stock for good upside momentum after this X bonus.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as Reliance Industries is concerned. We'll continue to circle back to Reliance Industries and more announcements that are coming in from the AGM for you to really stay updated. But also, let's look at the overall markets right now. Kunal, softer, markets after scaling record high levels of 25,174, in the intraday levels today. How are you looking at the market setup?
Well, right now 25,025 is going on, and if you talk about overall setup, I'm looking at very good upside momentum in the Nifty itself. Nifty has already made its all-time high. It has been continuously taking support of its 20 MA, and it has been trading in an uncharted territory. So based on this, all the technical structure, based on this, all the technical parameters, I'm seeing a very good upside momentum up to the level of 25,400 to 25,500. While if we talk about support side and downside, strong support comes at 24,700, 24,750. So yes, if if one would go for long, this is the right time with strict SL of 24,750. About 24,000, 25,400, we can even see 25,600 to 7,000, 700. So yes, good upside momentum would be there in market.
Okay. Okay, got it. Let's also talk about the two most buzzing stocks within the Nifty also, Kunal. And that's from the Bajaj Forum. Bajaj Finserv and Bajaj Finance have been buzzing and they've come back after a long haul of consolidation. Of course, there is this buzz that we all know and have been discussing, that probability of Bajaj Housing to come up with an IPO will be probably a trigger. But how are you looking at these two counters amidst this news flow?
Well, we talk about first Bajaj Finserv. Right now, it is trading at 1751, and it is already given a breakout of its recent top. However, one minor resistance is the at level of 1750, and stock is trading at 1751. So let's say if stock sustain above the 1750, we can see a very good upside momentum in the counter, and even new lifetime high would be there. Okay, so I'm not recommending for a fresh buy because risk reward is not that much of favorable for fresh buy. But if you have this stock in your portfolio, then please hold this stock. We can see a very good upside momentum up to the level of 1800, and if it breaks, then 2000 would be there. While if you talk about the Bajaj Finance, then the way stock has been trading, I think I would say it's a good stock to get into the stock right now because stock is trading at 7,030, and in yesterday's trading session, even it gave a close above its 50 DMA, and stock is giving a breakout of a symmetrical triangle breakout as well. So yes, now this is the stock where one could create as a long position at present level with strict SL somewhere around 6,700. Now, if we talk about target wise, then first target comes at 70,430, and if stock breaks this level, then sky has no limit would be there somewhere around 7,800. So yes, for Bajaj Finserv, hold your position existing. Bajaj Finance, create your new positions.
Okay, got it. Some more announcements. Let me just share with all our viewers that are coming in from the Reliance AGM again. Reliance Industries has launched Jio TV OS. Jio TV OS supports advanced home entertainment features, including ultra high definition 4K video. They are now venturing into new realms of home entertainment with the launch of Jio TV OS, which is a custom entertainment operating system for home use. They've also made Jio OS smarter by integrating Gen AI as well, and that's what Mr. Kiran Thomas, the CEO of Geo Platforms, has also announced. Now, remember, this is what Reliance Industries AGM has indicated. Reliance Industries has developed Geo Home app, and homes around the world, they are becoming smarter and more connected through the Internet of Things. So now they are saying, if you can imagine your air conditioner activating when you enter the room, your lights dimming as you start a movie, or receive a notification if an unauthorized person is approaching your front door, all of you without lifting a finger. That is what they are indicating as examples of what Geo Home could be looking at. Geo's Internet of Things solutions enable seamless integration of air conditioners, security systems and other appliances to simplify in users everyday life as well. And to unify these advanced features, they have developed the new Geo Home app, and that is something that Mr. Akash Ambani has also highlighted. Geo TV Plus will bring all of the entertainment to one entertainment platform as well. So that's as far as the Geo Home app and the Geo TV is also concerned. These are some of the announcements that are coming in from there. Reliance Industries has announced Geo TV Plus, that consolidates all the entertainment into one platform. What sets Geo TV Plus apart is the integration of content from 12 different OTT apps. With their upcoming play and pause feature, they will be able to play and pause like live TV. The powerful engine will also offer personalized recommendation, make TV work seamlessly for users as well. Now, what they are also saying is they are also developing geophone called AI. Remember, in the previous announcements in the AGMs, we've seen first it was the geophone, then it was the geophone next, and now he's talking about a geophone called AI. This will allow everyone to easily capture and access important voice conversations, make them searchable, shareable, understandable across all languages as well. So that's the kind of announcements that are coming in. So just wanted to keep you updated with what Reliance Industries announcements are coming in. Getting back to the markets, Kunal, coming back to you, as far as the sectors are concerned, it's been the IT space that's garnered all the favor over the last few days of the recent run up in the markets. IT stocks like HCL Tech, Infosys, the large cap IT names have also come back into flavor, many of them at 52-week highs and even record high levels as well. How are you looking at the IT sector right now, and what are you advising there?
Well, the way IT, has been trading since last many days, I was the one who was continuously saying about IT sectors, and I said that 2024 only belonging to this IT sectors only, and we are witnessing good upside momentum as well. If we talk about HCL Tech, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, they all are performing well, and we can see a further upside momentum from the present level. But one stock is there in which I'm seeing a very good upside momentum that we can see during upcoming trading session. The stock name is Tata Techno. Right now, the way stock has been trading, I'm seeing a very good upside momentum from the present level, and somewhere around the 1300 to 1400 would be there in upcoming trading session. So, not about the other IT stocks, because they all have performed very well, and it's not advisable to get into the stock because risk reward is not that much of favorable. But when it comes to Tata Techno, yes, risk reward is favorable, and still upside room is there. So yes, for fresh recommendation, Tata Techno is there. One can get into that stock.
Okay, got it. So that's the IT space for you where the information is flowing in. Let's get Kunal also to address FMCG that's now moved to the top spot today. Sharp moves can be seen on the Nifty FMCG index, led by some of the stocks like Britannia, that's up 2%, ITC that's coming back in flavor, a 1.7% of a move on this one as well. Remember, it was yesterday HUL that was buzzing away as well. And the FMCG space, what's catching your attention, Kunal?
Well, recent days we have seen a good upside momentum, particularly across the FMCG counter. But if you talk about today's trading session, Britannia, ITC, Hindustan Unilever, all the stocks are performing very well. But one stock is there which looks very attractive to me. That's a Britannia. Right now, Britannia is trading at 5,819 level. And if you talk about daily chart, the way stock has been trading above its 50 MA, continuously taking up support of its 50 MA. Even in yesterday's trading session, it took the support of the same. So based on this, what we are seeing right now, it's a follow-up momentum only. So right now, stock is trading at 5,815. One can get into the stock at present level with strict SL of 5,690. If we talk about target size, then first target comes at 6,000, and if stock gives the breakout of the 6,000, then it will be trading in uncharted territory, and based on that, 6,400 would be there. So amongst the other IT counters, Britannia FMCG counters, Britannia looks very good with strict SL of 5,690.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of move that you can expect within the FMCG space as well. Okay, let's get you to talk about the PSU stocks, the ones that are garnering all the attention today, Kunal. PFC and REC. The power finance makers are also coming back into focus. How would you track the two, Power Finance Corporation and REC both?
Well, first, let's talk on this PFC right now. It is trading at 551, trading about 50 MA. Recently took the support of the same, and we are just seeing that follow-up momentum only. So it's better to get into the stock right now at present level with the strict SL of 520. Now if we talk about target side, the first target comes at 565, and if stock gives a breakout of this 565, then 580 will be there, and above that 580. 640 even we can see in the PFC counter, so it's good to get into stock at present level. And if we talk about the REC right now, REC is trading somewhere around 622. So any fall up to the level of 615 or 610, that would become a good buying opportunities, but not at present level. So if stock falls up to the level of 610 or 605, one can get into that. One can get into the stock at that level with strict SL somewhere on 580 level. And target size, then we can see first target is 650, and if stock gives a breakout of the 650, then 660 would be there.
Okay. Viewers, what we'll do is let us also cut back into the Reliance Industries AGM right now. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is also highlighting some more details as far as yesterday's announcement is concerned of the deal with Disney is concerned. How Mukesh Ambani believes that the media landscape is set to change with Reliance Industries JV with Disney now underway, and they are now already thinking of a huge landscape change that will be coming in. They're also talking about how IPL, the second season, was a huge success on Jio Cinema, and how Jio Cinema's new packages are going to be game changing in the world of sports segments as well. Those are some of the details that he's mentioning. Let's cut back to really see what is he saying.
As the leader of Indian retail sector while achieving scale comparable to top retailers globally. I'm happy to inform that Reliance Retail is now amongst the top 5 global retailers.
Okay, we'll get you in a bit what Mr. Mukesh Ambani is saying, but in the meanwhile, markets are back into the green. There's a sharp surge. Let's look at the Nifty right now, 105 points higher in trade, 25,152 right now on the Nifty. So we've actually come back pretty sharply in trade as far as the Nifty is concerned. Kunal, would you look at the Nifty chart and tell us what just happened? We were dwindling below the flat line, and suddenly we have that 100 point of an uptick.
Yes, exactly. This is what we were discussing. When you ask about the market, right now Nifty is trading at 25,170 and made a high of 25,180. This is what we said. Now, the way Nifty, gave its 100 point up from the recent level 25,400, and if it breaks 25,600, would be there. So, if anyone has made a position at bottom level somewhere around 25,050, please hold your position. We can see a very good upside momentum in Nifty during upcoming trading session.
Provide us access to consumers across the country.
Any stocks or sectors that are coming afresh on your radar? We have hit a high of 25,188, and anything that will now be on the move, because we are ending the series today, Kunal. The next series begins tomorrow. So for the new series, what is your expectation in terms of the sectors or the stocks that can outperform?
Across the country.
Well, yes, today we are ending our current series, and tomorrow we will be, starting our new series. If we talk about the series wise, then rollover data are also suggesting some good momentum that we can witness in September month. Not only this, if we talk about sector wise, then two to three sectors are that which might perform very well. First is IT sectors that we have already talked about this IT sectors, but if we talk about other sectors, then one sector is that's FMCG. Overall FMCG chart, overall FMCG counters at this level on technical chart, trading at a good support level. If you talk about in terms of 50 MA, if you talk about in terms of 100 MA, even if you talk about recent bottom. Not only these third sectors that I'm seeing a very good upside momentum that we can see in the September month. That's the auto sectors. In auto sectors, Tata Motors, M&M, and Maruti. These three stocks looking very good, and that these stocks might perform very well in September months. So yes, three sectors: IT, FMCG, and auto.
Also promote.
Okay, got it. Kunal, apart from this, I also wanted to get a sense from you as far as the Nifty next 50 names are also concerned. Some of them are also garnering more attention. And okay, oil and gas is something let's picking up pace. Let's discuss that. BPCL is now up 2% higher in trade. HPCL is also picking up pace. IOC2 is up and about. How are you looking at the oil and gas names?
Its performance over the last year and its growth plans.
Well, if we talk about this, OMC's counters, then amongst OMC's counter, IOC looks very attractive because it has been trading above its 50 mm. Okay, and compared to BPCL and HPCL, right now it is trading at good level. It is giving a breakout of its recent top, which is placed at 175. So yes, it's a phrase. My recommendation from my side, if anybody want to get into the stock, please maintain a strict SL at 171. If we talk about target side, then first target comes at 185. And if stock breaks this 185, then 198 would be there.
11,101 crores, up 21%.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of move that Kunal also expects. Let me just get you some more updates from the AGM that are coming in just as now we speak. Reliance Retail is the next topic that Mr. Mukesh Ambani is highlighting about. He's saying Reliance Retail is among the world's top 5 by number of stores, and it's also among top 10 by market capitalization, among top 30 in the world by revenue as well. So that's the kind of move that he has seen in Reliance Retail. As far as the Jio is concerned, for the June quarter, he's highlighted how Reliance Jio had reported a growth of 10% year on year in its revenues, and how Jio plans to double revenue and profitability in the next 3 to 4 years. So that's the update that's coming in as far as the visibility on Jio or the telecom business of Reliance Industries is concerned. He's looking to double the revenue and profitability over the next 3 to 4 years as far as Reliance Jio is concerned. Those are some of the other details that are pouring in from the AGM as well. Some more details let us get. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is also highlighting on the RIL Disney merger. He's talked about the partnership with Disney. He says this marks the beginning of a new era in India's entertainment industry, and they're combining content creation with digital streaming. Their digital-first approach will deliver unparalleled content at affordable prices, and that they will cater to every consumer's tastes. They will also be providing world-class digital entertainment across spectrum, and they're excited about this partnership, and they're warmly welcoming Disney to the Reliance family. Those are the details that have been shared by Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Okay, 131 points higher as far as the Nifty is concerned. We are hovering near the all-time high levels. We hit an all-time high level of 25,192 just a while back, and the markets have been hovering higher. We now are also joined by Shell, but Nagar right here on the studio. Hi Shell, good afternoon. Some big bang announcements coming in by way of Reliance AGM. A 1:1 bonus has also been announced as well. So definitely Diwali bonus is given early.
Yes, Sakshi, I often wonder ये अच्छे दिन कब तक चलेंगे, लेकिन जब तक चलेंगे तब तक इसमें पार्टी आपको होती हुई दिखेगी. 10 days of rally on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, and the biggest of them all comes today with a very, very strong move on Reliance Industries, and lots of good news coming in from across the board, starting with the 1:1 bonus issue. And as Sakshi points out, a strong gain on the Nifty, now 25,182. This is not the only stock, Reliance, which is getting into top gear. There are a lot of other stocks within the Nifty that are boosting such wonderful performances. Reliance has contributed 40 points to Nifty's 140 point uptick. ITC contributing 20 points, Tata Motors 17 points, and Bajaj Finance 11 points. What's the minor pullback that's happening in the Nifty? These are M&M 9 points, Kotak down 4 points, Grasim contributing a negative 3 points, Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's. So nothing to be worried about at this moment. And Sakshi, a lot of digit changes happening. Look at Tata Motors. Now you have 1100 on the board, 1124 to be precise. You have a very, very strong move which is coming into stocks such as Bajaj Auto. And of course, an equally strong movement coming into Reliance Industries. I can't remember, Sakshi, the last time I saw Reliance as the top traded counter in NSE, although maybe 20 years ago that was the daily situation. So 5,000 crores worth of Reliance has been traded, and obviously people are now getting anxious for that 1:1 bonus, adding Reliance to their demat accounts. The percentage of total trade to delivery will be watched very carefully tonight. So that is something that we are watching out for. And of course, all-time highs. Which are the ones? There's such a big list, Sakshi. Bajaj Auto 10,805, Persistent 5,094. You've mentioned OMCs. We are looking at HP 415.70. There are stocks such as Voltas, MCX, SBI Life, all grinning away to fresh record highs. I don't think so you could have had a better F&O expiry for any month, especially a month which we saw so much of pain.
Absolutely. So the markets is something that we will continue to focus on. Let's go back to the Reliance AGM, where Isha Ambani Piramal, who's at the helm of Reliance Retail, is making some important announcements. Let's cut in.
Keep up with the growth, we have established 18 domestic and 3 international design centers, ensuring our designs are locally relevant. We have also developed an end-to-end digital platform that reduces the time from concept design to store shelf to just 30 days, ensuring that our stores are always stocked with the freshest merchandise. New formats like U-Stand Swadesh offer fast, accessible fashion, while Ajio continues to lead as an online fashion destination, with repeat customers contributing to 85% of sales. Ajio Luxe is also solidifying its position as the top fashion destination for premium and luxury customers. Our partnerships with ASOS and Shein will bring trendy fashion products to the Indian market, keeping pace with global fashion trends. Turning to consumer electronics, we remain the market leader driven by a commitment to personalized customer experiences and offering tailored solutions. A key differentiator for us is the high-quality sales and after-sales service provided through our in-house service arm, Rescue. We have rapidly scaled our on-demand services for electronics across India and expanded our big box Reliance Digital format, alongside a new productivity-focused format for the latest mobiles and laptops. Our emerging businesses continue to show strong growth. In our jewels business, we are expanding our design capabilities to offer products tailored to specific occasions and regional tastes, launching both regional and national collections. We also have ambitious plans to enter the luxury jewelry segment with a curated design-led experience and are exploring the fashion jewelry and accessory segment to broaden our market reach. In beauty, we are building our presence through an omni-channel strategy across multiple formats like Tira, Sephora, Kiko Milano, and Blushlace. We are also enhancing our beauty and personal care offerings across our existing formats, grocery, fashion, and pharma, both online and offline. Our investment in Insight Cosmetics is enabling us to create our own brand portfolio. Just Dial continues to strengthen its position as the go-to platform for SMEs in India, now serving over 170 million quarterly users and more than 5 lakh paying merchants. To further accelerate our deep tech and AI native capabilities, we are investing in companies with proven expertise. Adverbs is a global leader in robotics, providing innovating warehouse automation solutions with intelligent robots, while Find specializes in retail tech solutions, enhancing customer experiences across multiple platforms. With the strong foundation we have built, I am confident that we will achieve our goal of doubling our retail business in the next 3 to 4 years. Thank you. I will now request our chairman to take over.
Thank you, Isha. Best wishes to you and your retail team for greater success in the coming years and the year ahead. My dear shareholders, Reliance's unwavering commitment to India's energy security has made our exploration and production business a cornerstone of success in the nation's energy sector. I am proud to announce that our fields in the KG Basin have reached the peak output levels this year, a significant milestone that reflects the hard work and dedication of our E&P team in collaboration with our esteemed partners, BP. Congratulations to all involved in achieving this remarkable feat. As pioneers in deep water development and production in India, we have successfully commissioned 6 deep water fields, establishing ourselves as a world-class deep water operator. Despite facing numerous challenges, our team ensured the safe and timely commencement of the MJ field, a testament to our commitment and resilience. Currently, production from the KGD6 field is nearly 30 million cubic meters of gas and 22,000 barrels per day of condensate. Our fields now contribute to nearly 30% of India's domestic gas production, supplying a diverse range of customers across sectors such as fertilizer, power, city gas distribution, and various industries. This achievement marks a significant step towards realizing the national goal of increasing natural gas's share to 15% in India's energy mix by 2030. This year, we also celebrated a major financial milestone, surpassing 20,000 crores in EBITDA, with our revenues approaching the 25,000 crore mark. We remain committed to investing in safe and sustainable operations, resource expansion, and additional development wells to sustain and enhance our production capabilities. In line with our strategic vision, we acquired the KG UDW2 block under the OALP 8 licensing round and have planned exploratory wells in the KG Basin. In the coal bed methane or CBM sector, we have successfully drilled multilateral wells for the first time in India, boosting well productivity by nearly 4 times. This success is driving us to expand our well campaign across the rest of our CBM acreage. Looking ahead, we will leverage our E&P expertise to develop low-carbon energy solutions, including geothermal energy, underground coal gasification, natural hydrogen, and helium. These initiatives will ensure that Reliance continues to play a pivotal role in shaping a sustainable energy future for India. Dear friends, our fuel retailing joint venture with BP, GOBP, is setting new benchmarks in the industry, as highlighted in our recent You Deserve More campaign. We are proud to offer high-performance diesel that delivers 4.3% extra mileage per litre at no additional.
All right, we'll continue to get you all the key highlights from Reliance Industries 47th AGM. Meanwhile, we are now welcoming Mr. Prabal Sen. He's the Vice President of Equity Research at ICICI Securities to join in with us. Prabal, hi, good afternoon, welcome.
Hi.
And we've been listening, I'm sure you would have been too glued to Reliance Industries AGM to find out the key details. First of all, since your core expertise is on the oil and gas space, are you looking at any stake sale announcements that haven't been made so far?
Not in the oil and gas space, no. I don't think that there was any expectation in the first place of any announcements in the OTC space. I think the expectation was on the retail and the telecom space. It doesn't look like any announcement, at least so far. has been made. So I don't know if it is still announced at the end of the speech or perhaps later on as Mr. Ambani goes on. But as of now, we were not really expecting anything or with respect to any transactions on the oil and gas space. I still look forward to what he says about the petrochemical capacity additions that he had announced a couple of years ago. Whether there are any milestones that will be announced on that upstream, I think Mr. Ambani just finished speaking on in terms of the fields reaching peak production, which is obviously, a positive. They have some further exploration plans as well, and we await the results of those in the next 12 to 18 months to see the next wave of growth as and when it happens, as far as upstream production is concerned. So, yeah.
Mr. Sen, about 10 years ago, Shail Bhatnagar this side, about 10 years
Yeah.
ago, the main theme at Reliance was how to sort of boost this Krishna Godavari basin to a level where the entire Indian infrastructure in terms of commercial vehicles would use gas as a source of transport. Somehow that vision got blurred, and during the span of next 10 years, the Reliance telecom and retail venture sort of overtook everybody's thought process. When you look at oil, gas and chemicals as the mainstay of Reliance, how are you now watching this play on natural gas? Is it still holding the same allure that it used to about 15 years ago, or has that attraction faded?
No, I think if you look at Mr. Ambani's address a couple of years ago when he first announced the ventures into the new energy businesses in
Yes.
particular, I think he was very clear about the fact that the world will need to move away from the fossil fuel business
Yes.
over a period of time. I don't think that there's been any change, in terms of that ambition or that strategic direction. If you look at the kind of capex announcements that he has made, he's also spoken about moving increasingly towards more specialty chemicals and moving away from the traditional refinery business, which is still perhaps a significant part of their overall mix. So I think directionally that continues to be there. Having said that, the natural gas business, I think, particularly natural gas as a fuel, I think serves as a very important bridge fuel if you want to talk about transitioning from the highest polluting fossil fuels, which are the liquid fuels, and going on to a pure play renewables and an EV led future. That will probably be the case in the next 10 to 15 years. So my sense is that natural gas, nuclear, any other sort of a bridge fuel that can be looked at will continue to be a focus. And Reliance anyways has demonstrated that it basically does things from a 3 year, 5 year and 10 year objective at pretty much the same time. So one can look at it that they have assets that they have in place which they have managed to sort of reinvigorate using technology and perhaps using BP's help in terms of the natural gas upstream business. But I think the long term focus continues to probably remain towards building up new energy as and specialty chemicals and specialty petrochemicals as the focus area, and gradually moving away from upstream. How soon they do it, I think that remains to be seen.
Okay. And in terms of overall investments which is coming into this new energy business, it was about 75,000 crore rupees announced 2 years ago. How much do you think has been spent? And do you expect additional capacity allocations in this space?
Again, announcements to that effect might be made in the speech as we speak. I don't know. But in terms of investments made, our understanding is not a huge amount. There have been obviously multiple number of acquisitions, big and small. But barring those acquisitions, actual investment on the ground may not have been, more than 10-20%
Okay.
of what was announced a couple of years ago. They don't disclose that separately at this point of time. So it's difficult for me to put a number on it.
Okay. Mrs. Sen, another thing is that with respect to the scaling up of the capacities within the new energy space, what are you expecting this time around from the AGM? Are there any, is there any clarity that is needed, because the announcements that came in last time were pretty, surface topics that they had discussed. What are you looking at as a keen observer of the energy space from Reliance Industries AGM?
Yes, absolutely. I think if you look at the annual report as well, I think for the first time in the last 2 to 3 years, there was quite a bit of discussion and quite a bit of, I think, insight given into particularly the solar business and the plans to accelerate the green and blue hydrogen expansion. So our sense is, as and when we go along, whether it is in this AGM or as we go along in the next few quarter results, we would probably get some milestones with respect to the capacity of solar power being set up. They had earlier spoken about almost an aspirational target of 100 gigawatt, if you remember, when the announcements were first put out in the public domain. How much of that realistically will be put in place over the next 3 to 5 years will be basically more interesting to look at. And as far as green and blue hydrogen is concerned, again, the numbers I think continue to probably be a little bit small at this point of time. So I think any clarity on that, if we can guess on and if we can get a sense, will help us, basically build in what the economics are today and what exactly can be the scale of this business over the next, decade even.
Fair point. Mr. Sen, what's also happened in the last maybe a year or less than a year is that India's energy landscape as also the way public sector companies are treated in this sector has gone dramatic upgrade, and most of this oil and gas space now looks for higher trajectories and maybe better orbits. As an analyst in this space for quite a while, what do you think are two or three major stocks which you feel will outperform dramatically over the next 3 years or so?
Uh, okay, so if I look at, and you're absolutely right that the perception in terms of how these oil companies are valued in the country has definitely and thankfully seen a little bit of a positive change over the last 12 to 18 months. The reason for that is twofold. One, internationally, oil and gas prices in the aftermath of the Russia Ukraine conflict,
Yes.
which had gone up. Once that dust has settled, despite the fact that the conflict continues to rage on, the fact is that it has reached a state where it is not having a meaningful impact on global demand supply balances, whether of oil or for gas. And demand concerns globally, other than in the emerging economies, have meant that pricing for both oil as well as gas has seen moderation. And that is always good news for India, which imports 75 to 80% of oil and about 45 to 48% of its gas requirements. So, being the price takers that we are, the forecasts for pricing for both oil and gas, given the fact that it has seen a significant moderation, is obviously something that is helping margins and earnings. That's number one. The second thing is balance sheets have got cleaned up a little bit because of the higher cash flows. So leverage across the board seems to be basically going down rather than up, and that is a very important factor specifically for the OMCs, which is where I think HPCL should continue to benefit from a deleveraging once its capex cycle has already seen a significant part of its expansion capex has already been spent, and the remaining part should actually see completion over this financial year. So from 26, 27, 28, you're going to see a combination of higher refining throughput, a more complex refining capacity inclusive of Vizag and Rajasthan, and a slightly cleaner balance sheet. So that remains, I think, a very very how do I say, probably a standout performer in this in terms of the coverage that we have. Gale is another name that I think we
Yeah.
continue to believe will do fairly well. Gas demand continues to rise up. His transmission capacity, the completion of the northeastern grid, in addition to the Jagdishpur Haldia Bokaro pipeline, and the fact that tariffs have been increased by about 40% and have the potential to improve by maybe about another 10-12% in the next couple of years if his review petition is upheld. And the trading margin should also look up because the differential between US Henry Hub prices and Asian LNG prices continues to be significant enough that he has sufficient pricing leeway. So that's another name that we like. MGL is another name that we like. We believe that with the inorganic acquisition that they have done, uh, the volume growth can actually go up by about 100 basis point on an average over the next few years, and at the same time margin performance continues to be ahead of his peer groups, which is I think a very significant strength that MGL has as a company. And other than that, I think in upstream, Oil India is something that I think continues to catch our eye. Our sense is that his production performance growth should probably outperform ONGC and definitely be much higher than his last 6 7 year performance, both in oil and gas, and realizations thanks to the government employing a fairly proactive windfall tax strategy continue to sort of hold steady at between $74 to $76 for oil and about $6.5 to $7 for gas for the next 2 to 3 years. So those are the few names that are standout names as far as we are concerned.
Mr. Sen, I think you have a crisis of plenty on your plate. Almost all stocks in the sector are doing something or the other which is better than what they did over the last decade or so. Before we let you go, sir, this mad rush that you see for solar energy is somewhat unrelated to your business, but typically all that oil and gas is doing is something that solar will eventually do. Do you think at this moment we are in bubble territory as far as valuations are concerned in that particular space, or this is par for the course?
I would. I don't want to be put on the spot. I have no idea. I think it would be better if you speak to the guy who tracks power, Mr. Mohit Kumar, very accomplished analyst. So he's better placed to answer a question about whether valuations are in a bubble. But as we have seen recently, some of the IPOs of automotive dealers, and the kind of applications that come in for a 11 crore IPO, that should tell you something about the euphoria that markets are enjoying. So maybe some names could be overvalued, but as I said, I don't track it. I would refrain from commenting on whether that's overvalued or not. I hope I
Okay.
answered your question somewhat.
Well, Mr. Sen, just a broader macro question as well before I let you go, and that is with respect to the geopolitical concerns that have been rising within the Middle East as well. How do you think the entire oil and gas space is poised to tackle all of these? If this were to escalate going forward from here, what should we be prepared for?
The simple answer is nobody is poised to handle if geopolitical events continue to escalate. The reason I mentioned Russia and Ukraine, if you notice what happened in the aftermath, it took about 6 to 9 months for even Europe, for example, when the gas production or gas supplies from Europe actually were hampered from Russia. It took a 9 month to 12-month period for LNG supplies to help offset some of the deficit. And structurally speaking, there has been demand destruction that still hasn't come back, specifically in the industrial and power sectors in Europe. So there are some effects that can be overcome of a short-term price or supply, sort of disruption. Some impacts actually last much longer. Now, as far as oil is concerned, given how much more critical and how much more fungible the commodity is, if the Israel-Palestine conflict actually escalates and brings the larger Arab world into the its ambit, then frankly it's very difficult to put a finger on it today and say how can we react. One clear answer from a long-term perspective is whether we should have a strategic petroleum reserves on the lines of what the US has. If you notice what they did, they had about 650 million barrels, which is the capacity of their overall strategic petroleum reserves across multiple caverns that they have. They withdrew about a 350 million barrels from that reserve over a period of just 1 year, which is the equivalent of around a million barrels a day of supply, just to ensure that their refiners did not struggle in the aftermath of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We don't have that kind of a cushion. So, if Middle East continues to actually remain this volatile, one can argue it's remained volatile for the past 50 years, but never to this extent. So,
Yeah.
so to that extent, unless you have a reserve, unless you have some sort of a backup sourcing plan, if there is volatility, that's something that you'll have to deal with from an inflationary standpoint or subsidies to a certain extent and so on and so forth. But it's very difficult today to sort of speculate on what we can do as a country.
Okay. Mr. Sen, before we let you go, let me just put you against the wall and ask you your two favorite outperformers in the oil and gas space, which you think might give better returns than the market over the next 12 to 24 months.
I don't know about two. I would say three names I would still put. GAIL, HPCL, and Oil India, I think are three names that should continue to do well. Or if you really want to, and that's the pecking order. So you can pick the top two from that.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sen, for sharing with us all your wonderful ideas and insights as far as the oil and gas space, the energy space is concerned. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time with us. 100 points higher on the Nifty, 25,154. We were talking about solar, and one more news point that's come in from Reliance's 47th AGM is that Mr. Mukesh Ambani has announced that by the year end, they will be commencing the production of their own solar photovoltaic modules as well. So that's how in the new energy space Reliance Industries is going to go big on the solar space as well. Let's now welcome Mr. Raghavendra Singh. He's a market expert and you've often seen him on our channel. Raghavendra, warm welcome. First up, how are you assessing some of the key announcements that have already been made from the AGM, the 47th AGM? What stood out for you so far?
Sakshi, very good afternoon. Shell, very good afternoon. As far as Reliance AGM is concerned, we have, we have seen so many announcements by the chairman, Mukesh Ambani. The best announcement was 1:1 bonus, and I think that will definitely encourage the investor to invest more in the company. Apart from that, we have seen so many announcements for the Geo and the other businesses, and I think that was very much positive and it was very much demanded. More or less, I will, assess this AGM is the extended version of Mr. Anand Ambani marriages, because all the invitees, all the businessmen from all over the world were invited in the marriage, and I think that was the time. I think the company has made some announcement, maybe some agreement with them, and that was the extended version. Today we have heard so many announcements from the chairman. We have done this agreement, we have done that agreement, we are coming with this, that. So it was very good, and I think it is very good for the investor as well. अभी आने वाले टाइम में देखेंगे उसका इफेक्ट क्या होता है, बट बहुत अच्छा था ये जो भी अनाउंसमेंट किया है यहाँ।
नमस्ते राघवेंद्र जी, वैसे तो बाज़ार बंद हो चुका, लेकिन ये बताइए, ये जो शानदार अगस्त की एक्सपायरी हम लोगों ने देखी है, जिसमें निफ्टी अब लगातार 11 दिन तेज़ी में चल रहा है, अब सितंबर में आपका क्या प्लान है? एक दो स्टॉक जो आप समझते हैं कि बढ़िया रोल ओवर्स हुए हैं, बढ़िया स्टॉक मार्केट एक्शन है और सितंबर में और तेज़ी देखने को मिलेगी?
शायद देखिए, जिस हिसाब से हम लोग 25,000 के आसपास का निफ्टी एक्सपायरी एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे, वो एक्सपायरी इस मंथ में अच्छी खासी हुई है। अब इसमें एक चीज आप ये देखिएगा कि जब निफ्टी ओवरसोल्ड के आसपास था 40 के RSI, अभी हम 65-70 के आसपास आ चुके हैं। तो मुझे लगता है 200-300 पॉइंट 400 पॉइंट की रैली अभी और बची हुई है निफ्टी में। तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि 25,400 25,500 मैक्सिमम लेवल पे हम जा सकते हैं। अब मुझे लग रहा है कि यहाँ से सितंबर का मंथ थोड़ा सा मुझे डाइसी लग रहा है। आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग अ सेल ऑफ अप टू 24,200 24,300। अब मुझे लगता है कि ये सेल ऑफ जो है थोड़ा सा इस बार डीप हो सकता है। रीजन इज क्योंकि पिछले 3-4 महीने से लगातार हमारी क्लोजिंग हायर टॉप हायर बॉटम हो रही है। सब कुछ अच्छा है, लेकिन पोर्टफोलियो मैक्सिमम लोगों का रेट है, तो स्टॉक में जो स्ट्रेंथ आनी चाहिए वो नहीं आ रही है। तो मुझे लगता है एक बार निफ्टी भी जो है अभी 25,300-400 के आसपास टॉप आउट होना चाहिए, और सितंबर मंथ थोड़ा सा मुझे लग रहा है कि 500-800 पॉइंट का जो है निफ्टी में फॉल हो सकता है। वो भी मुझे लगता है स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द मंथ होगा। फिर मुझे लगता है कि सितंबर एंड आते आते हम रिकवर कर जाएंगे। तो मेरे हिसाब से ये थोड़ा सा टाइम आ गया जहां पे कि हम सबको प्रॉफिट थोड़ा बहुत बुक कर लेना चाहिए। और हम लोगों ने हर एक लेवल पे जो है इन्वेस्टर्स को बोला जहां बाई करना था, जहां सेल करना था। मुझे लगता है 200-300 पॉइंट और यहाँ से है, वो एक बार आ जाएगा लेवल, मैं वहां से जो है प्रॉफिट बुक करना स्टार्ट करूंगा।
Okay, got it. I think we are now also joined by Mr. Vineet Bolinchkar and Mr. Sunil Subramaniam also on the show with us. Mr. Sunil Subramaniam is a market veteran. You've seen him on the show before. Warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out. And Mr. Vineet Bolinchkar, you all know, is the head of research at Ventura Securities, and he comes weekly on our show as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time out. Mr. Subramaniam, first to you. Top 3 key takeaways from the Reliance 47th AGM for you?
For me, I think it's a bellwether stock for the Indian market from an FII perspective. So I think in a way it's a mini India. So I think the sentiment around India itself, I think will be favorably impacted by what was announced today. The second is, I think I liked it for the vision layout, the strategy. You know, right from Dhirubhai's days, right, rewarding the Indian retail investor has been a very key ethos, and you should credit them with giving people the confidence of investing in equities. And a statement like today, after 2017, you're doing a 1:1 bonus to reward. It reinforces, you know, you're seeing this retail SIP book grow, you're seeing everything grow, but ultimately it's the confidence of India in two things: our economic growth and our stock market's growth. So I think that's where what the AGM's statements today probably played a larger role than just a company-specific role. That was the second takeaway. And the third takeaway is I think that they've always believed in diversifying into new age areas. So with this mega move into the AI space, 100 GB free storage, then at Jamnagar they said it's going to do the energy purely on green basis. So I think the direction moving forward, I think is also very, very good clarity. So I think all of it, and I think a nice ballpark, they said that we want to be the top 30 companies in the world. That is a very, very big statement to make. So I think vision was the key takeaway for me.
Right. Let's get Vineet into the conversation. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Bojlinkar. I'm sure you've gone through the entire AGM. The stock, of course, closing at its day's high. And this is the enthusiastic response to the 1:1 bonus. But if you remove all the hype and the glamour that is surrounded with the AGM of RIL, what are the two things that, according to you, stand out and perhaps may help Reliance climb beyond record highs? The market, of course, is clicking away merrily, but Reliance so far has not participated.
So, Reliance has been in a long congestion band. And, the onset and the announcement around the solar modules, I think, will be the trendsetter for what is going to happen to Reliance in the coming few quarters. We are going to see the green economy start, firing for Reliance, and that is a very bullish sign. But one play which I think is very significant to Reliance is Sterling Wilson, because being a subsidiary of Reliance, I think that it would be one of the biggest gainers from the rollouts that the company will do at Jamnagar for its green energy ecosystem.
Okay, let's just check out Sterling Wilson. I remember the IPO at beyond 700, if I am not mistaken, and SW Solar, of course. But SW Solar at that point of time was with another group, and it's Reliance that's taken it over somewhere 2 years ago. So the all-time high, ladies and gentlemen, on Sterling Wilson was on the day of its listing, somewhere in August 2019, 755, and it's breached that for a while in the last 2 or 3 months, but again a sideways trend. With this background and the fact that Sakshi mentioned that I think the first solar wafer will be out in 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what Reliance has said in the AGM. Vineet, where do you think a good move could be in Sterling and Wilson over the next 2 years?
I think they've got substantial. Their order book is substantial, and but when you compare it to what Reliance is going to roll out, it's going to be adding significantly over and above what the present order book is. So I think that Solar Wilson on declines. If you sip this stock for a few quarters, I think you will have a very good position spaced out. Average volumes, average price. And if you hold for 2 to 3 years, I think you'll definitely get rewarded handsomely.
Okay. Mr. Sneha Subramaniam, let me get you on the new energy business as well. Newer statements that are coming in from the AGM indicate that Mr. Mukesh Ambani has indicated the new energy business will become big and profitable over the next 5 to 7 years. They've also already begun work on establishing a fully automated multi-gigawatt electrolyzer manufacturing facility, and this Jamnagar will be the center of new energy business right there. How are you looking at this vertical of Reliance Industries over the next 5 to 7 odd years? How big will it get and contribute largely to the overall top line and bottom line of the company and the conglomerate?
See, this energy business needs huge deep pockets of capital, right? And so unless a corporate like Reliance takes a 5-year call on investing in this, right? Otherwise, green overall has been talked about for very long. There's a lot of hype around it, but in the ground reality, we know it's not. But now with Reliance making such clear plans, right, I would say that the kind of capital they can come in, there's nobody else to compete with that. And mind you, there is no need to borrow. They have enough cash in their balance sheet. Because in these kind of new age businesses, those businesses will take time to generate cash flows. So when you look at it from a valuations perspective, right, this period when they are investing, maybe that business will not scale up in terms of its market, the market giving a good share price component to that part of it. But once you cross that 5 years, you cross the initial investment, and the cash flow from that business starts turning positive, that year you will see, I will see that there could be a massive jump up in that business. In terms of numbers, in terms of sales and revenues and all that, I think these numbers are too early to talk about.
Right. Let's get Vineet back into the conversation. Mr. Bojlinger, what do you make out of announcements made on Jio Finance? This was the baby that was launched about 18 months ago, and last year's AGM also promised much. But in terms of delivery, there is little to show in financials over the last 12 months or so. There is also this buzz on the Lal Street that there might be a merger in the offing with another NBFC. How do you see the Jio landscape?
See, I think Geo, if it has to take off and achieve scale, it cannot do it organically because there's a lot of stiff competition, and putting things together can take about 2 to 3 years. My bet is that the company will go through M&A activity, and the one stock that I can think of is PEL, which is like a family concern now. It's a very high probability that this company could get merged into Jio, or Jio could get reverse merged into that. Remains to be seen.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, that planned merger could sort of create a behemoth which is into corporate lending via the PEL lending book and is focusing on retail via the telecom business. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, that is what I believe.
Okay. Mr. Subramaniam, do you see this in the realm of possibility, a merger between PEL and Jio Finance?
It's in the realm, but I still think that it's too small. I still think that there's going to be a big mega inorganic acquisition which they will announce. Maybe it's not happened yet, so they've not talked about it. But in the financial services business, right? See, typically if you see Reliance, what do? They put their capital at work and they use aggressive initial pricing to win market share and so-called kill competition, right? In all of their businesses, the two things are go in with deep pockets and offer a value package to the customer, which is unbeatable. Now, in finance, that's not easy because finance is a business which leverages on money, right? So, anybody with 8x, 7x, 8x, you can leverage. But second thing is, you can't do much giveaway to the customer. You see, if you take mutual fund business, which I've run for long, you're charging 1.5%, 2% fees to the customer. Now, if you go to the customer and there are passive funds which are giving it, 10 basis points, 15. So, what is that big saving that you can give to the customer to attract the customer? So, pricing in the finance, in the insurance business, in the thing. So, the key here is to then build scale by kickstarting, by jumping the whole time to take to build a business. So they will look to buy a business which has a large customer base, which already has the customers, and to them they will look at it saying, can I cross-sell all of my Jio stroke Reliance products to that customer base? So they'll pay a price for that customer base, which nobody will think is worth it. But in that mind, they will look at that customer as a multi-product user of Reliance stroke Jio interface. So I think a huge mega inorganic acquisition is in the annual in the pipeline, and that's the way the financial services part of the whole thing will scale up and become big. So I think I await that day when that announcement comes.
Okay, Vineet, let me also get you on the retail aspect. You've been closely tracking the retail space across the Indian stock markets, and of course, Reliance Retail has again come out with some more interesting announcements today that they're going to be foraying into the luxe jewelry segment as well.
Yes.
This will be another leg of or vertical of Reliance Retail beyond fashion lifestyle that they have been catering to. How are you going to be looking at this space scaling up within the retail pack?
So the Reliance retail has been a sort of a dud as far as the Reliance portfolio is concerned. Yes, they've got scale, but they've not been able to achieve the desired metrics, for their sales, same store sales growth, margins, etc. So I think that adding one more brand or vertical to your portfolio is not going to move the needle much.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Subramaniam? How would you look at the retail space going forward from here? Of course, no announcements were made on hiving off or demerging the business and announcing an IPO, which something that all of us were hoping to listen in from Mr. Mukesh Ambani on both Jio and retail. That hasn't happened. But how would you look at these two spaces, verticals, going forward?
I agree with Vinit's assessments that retail, they have the scale, but it hasn't translated into profitability, market share, those kind of metrics there. I think they will go back to the drawing board there, and they'll have to revisit that business the way they look at it. And going to the high end, the high end people are not price elastic, right? You are paying for the brand, right? So then what is the value proposition that you are going to give them? Whereas the game of Reliance is, like I said in my previous answer, it's about a value proposition. But the luxury market is not about value. The luxury market is about the perception of that value. So that's a different ball game. And I think they will learn it quickly, they will learn it, but it's not yet there. I agree with Vinit's assessment of that.
Right. Let's get Vineet onto the telecom business. This has been one of those great success stories. It's now the biggest player, launched in 2016, and in a span of less than probably 3 years, you've seen the dominance coming in. Now the main thrust is the Geo Fiber. Any other technological innovations that you feel, Vineet, will be available for Geo holders over the next 18 months or so, as far as this business is concerned?
So I think Geo Fiber will now go the FTTH route. You're laying the fiber, but to connect, if you want to achieve deep deep penetration, the most cost economical way is to go via the FTTH route, and
Yes.
That to my mind will be the next lever of growth for because they're looking at offering us portfolio of services in this. So they give you, for a family of 4, they give you 4 SIMs, they give you a broadband, and on top of that, they might also rope in some home security systems, etc. So I think there could be some innovation out there on the product portfolio, more towards the electronic side of the durables space. So that's what I would be looking to anticipate from Geo.
Okay, what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is we will shift the focus of this conversation to broader markets. There are more, obviously, news items coming in from RIL AGM, and we will treat them as they come in. Sunil ji, to you. The market's at a record high. There is a tear happening on the Nifty, as if the index is going out of fashion and will not be traded beyond September 30th. So anybody who can buy till September 30th will have that advantage to hold it forever. कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं हो गया?
Sunil?
No, Sunil ji, I was just asking if there is just too much of a party on Dalal Street.
Well, when you are in the party, you don't question whether the party is too long or too much, right? You enjoy the party, right? Yeah. One. Second is that if you look at it on why party, right? I think you got to look at three major factors and you see changes around those, right? The first is that I think the US is in a sweet spot for just the US and for the rest of what is that? You are in a situation where growth is coming reasonably good, but inflation is coming down, which means soft interest rates for longer. So this is an equity market's Goldilocks scenario, and right now there's nothing that looks to disturb that. I think you'll keep getting non-farm payrolls, this, that, to keep judging. But by and large, the point is, US doesn't look like it's slipping into deep recession. So, to that extent, the world stock markets need cheap money, but we need the US as a growth engine because all the Asian emerging markets are exporting to the US. So, from an economic growth of the rest of the world, the US growth is important. But for the stock markets of the rest of the world, easy liquidity and low interest rates in the US are important. So, that's one Goldilocks scenario that's there. Layer 2 of this Goldilocks scenario is where does that money go? Historically, it was going in large chunks to China. So China has got into a trap where GDP numbers are coming down, this is coming down, the markets have reacted badly. So global emerging market allocations are shifting away from China, and naturally India has been a beneficiary of this. Now the third thing is, from an India perspective, the money flow coming in at the cost of China to India is also, there's another bigger factor for India is our heavy dependence on imported oil. So the one thing which can generally give a shock to FII flows into India, if you've studied it, is a undue spike in oil prices happening. Now, there are news about the wars and geopolitical conflicts, everything, but somewhere oil has remained at its level without showing any sharp breakout signs. So I think these three scenarios broadly, and finally, coming down to India, right? We seem to worry about RBI will do rate cut, but the point is that our growth numbers are fairly okay at 7%. So we don't need to do a rate cut to boost growth. So I think that the focus around RBI will take cuts rate is not needed, because as long as the growth is constant, foreign capital will chase us. So to me, what then is the situation? Like I said, the situation now, the point is, at this point in time, do you do nothing or what do you do? But I think it's a time when you reallocate. See, the overall broader market, I think, will be strong. But there are pockets which have run up very largely on the basis of future growth. A lot of the good news is in the price. But, so because even a small shock to an inflated balloon can burst, right? But there is no signs of such a shock. But my point is that there are equally sectors which are got longer, decent growth prospects, which have been neglected by the market. One case in point which is now catching up is IT. Second case in point is consumption, right? And so at the cost of what's gone up, like defense, energy, and capital goods, right, which have all run up. I think the smart thing to do, right, at the party is to switch from your favorite drink to another favorite drink, right? Don't stop drinking at the party, but just switch the flavor of your drink, do a sector reallocation, book some profits, take some money, enjoy that money, go buy a Mercedes-Benz or a Lamborghini, or take your wife out or get her a nice piece of jewelry, spend some money, reallocate your portfolio, because this liquidity flow, when it comes in, is going to keep buying India. And this kind of a macro flow out of the US favoring India, a significant portion comes to passives. Why do I say this? Passives buy the index. So all components of the index will get an allocation from the FIIs. So one of the reasons for the IT rally I see is partly this. And so to me, these sectors which today are not, IT is coming back in favor very rapidly, yes, but I would still there's juice to run, because very long, if the US recovery will be very good for the IT sector. Second is banking. I know it's even now being iffy movement, but I believe that it's still a good time to buy good quality banks which are correcting. So buying on dips throughout the BFSI space is another good strategy, and keep your focus on consumption, I would say.
Right. Sunilji, you've made Sakshi the happiest person on this floor. So she's now looking forward for a Lamborghini. Obviously, Reliance has launched a line of luxury jewels and jewelry. So she'll be sort of looking into that as well. And yes, you know, this is possibly a time where all those lovely thoughts you had about long-term goals, you know, making a house, maybe sending the kid overseas and investing on his behalf for that particular thing. All those dreams possibly are now coming true, and this might just be the right time to probably take some money away, put it in a bond fund, put it in a fixed deposit, and then enjoy the fruits of labor. So Sakshi, I'm sure you'll be the first customer for Reliance's jewelry line. Yes. Luxury jewelry line.
Yes, we were talking to even Titan's MD the other day and talking to him about Zoya, a luxury store that was opening in Chennai as well, their 11th store. And of course, luxury jewelry lines, that's the newest aspirational line that everybody is opening up. And now Isha Ambani has announced that as well. But let's get Vineet into the picture as well. Vineet, what else looks exciting to you when the markets are at 25,151? Are you still excited to buy more, or would you also enjoy what you have made until now and go for a vacation?
So, I always face a dilemma, because whenever I look at the index, you feel that it's overvalued. And when I go and meet companies, I think that it is undervalued. Yes. So, what I would like to simply, today I met one company, and I will leave you with a very interesting anecdote. If you see the amount of banked economy that is there, it is far smaller than the parallel banking economy or the money lenders economy. Now, these money lenders, actually charge you usurious rates which vary from probably 40% to upwards of 100% annually. And now with this unified lending interface coming into the picture, I believe that this is going to explode. So any consumer, any retail lender, agriculturist, or an MSME entrepreneur, all he has to do is load his documents onto the ULI, and banks will give him predetermined loan rates. This is going to lead to significant drop in this usurious lending rate, although it will be very high for these people because they are coming into the formal system for the first time. But what it is going to do is that it's a win-win not only for the NBFC stroke banking segment, but also for the consumer and the borrower, because their cost of lending is going to come down and the money saved will go into consumption, business growth. And I believe that this internal regurgitation of money is going to lead to a significant boom, which is going to make India grow faster than even the best economists out there think about.
That's a wonderful thought to sort of pause the show on. But Vineet, knowing that you will translate this macro move into what will benefit the most on Dalal Street, what are you looking at? Improving upon NBFC lenders or technology companies that will trigger this macro move into, how should I say, a catalyst for the broader economy?
So I am very bullish on these catalysts, which are the guys with the distribution reach. Paytm for one. We could look at the other lenders which are there, the fintech companies. I think they are going to explode. And I am very, very bullish on the digital ecosystem going out from there. We've hardly seen anything happen in there, actually. I think it is going to explode beyond everyone's imagination.
Okay, so what we'll do, Vineet, is that this show draws to a close, but I'll extend an open invite for you to discuss your research report on Paytm, which I think runs into 31 pages. We'll discuss that in broad detail. Remember, Paytm is perhaps the only internet listed stock which is still below its in hindsight an overinflated IPO price, and stocks such as PB Fintech, Nykaa, Zomato, Delivery and one more have now sort of reclaimed the previous glories, but Paytm is left. We'll wait for we need to discuss that, but that will be on a different show. For now, thank you so much, Mr. Subramaniam and Vineet ji, for this lovely conversation that we had, not only on Reliance's expansion plans, but also the markets.
Thank you so much.
With that, Sakshi and I sign off, but remain glued to Business Today television. There's lots on the other side.
At the Global FinTech Fest in Mumbai, joining me is Rajesh Bansal, Chief Executive Officer of Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Mr. Bansal, last time we spoke was actually during G20 last year in Delhi, and then there were big hopes and big highs on the digital public infrastructure that we were discussing about. From then until now, how have the advancements been like?
Thanks, Karishma, for having me here. As you would have seen day before yesterday, the governor announced the unified lending interface. So over the